worth it? Is it for the future? The family. I want more. I want freedom. I'm purpose driven for equality. You're gonna know my name. I'm still the same. Ain't nothing changed. You're gonna know I am good. Respect me and my legacy. And I wish you would Google me, read my story. You're gonna know my name. Welcome to the Face Behind the Brand 2022. Read my story. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very, very happy to be back into this new year, episode 118, 2022. I have an incredible guest sitting right here with me. I'm going to give him a grand intro. You know how we do.
Thank you.
Bear with me for a second.
Cool. What's going on?
Everything is good. How have you been?
Staying busy, you know.
Yeah. I'm playing some very, very dope sound from you. Can you hear it okay?
Yeah, I can hear a little bit. It's going in and out, but I can hear
Is it? Okay, let me see.
Ooh, that shit's funky like a motherfucker.
He's like, is that me?
Mm-hmm.
That would be you.
Yes, that's right.
I appreciate you for sharing some exclusive sounds with me. You know, I had to get you to
You already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tons of folders with all types of sounds, you know.
So this is incredible. Might have to run that back actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's okay because we're in the heart of it. So I actually was trying to dive to it earlier. I caught myself diving to it. Let's see.
How's the weather over there on the bay?
Good. It's been a little rainy. They said it's gonna rain tomorrow.
Okay.
So
yeah, we got a little snow over here, but it's all gone now. So
no,
that's a good thing. Yeah.
Not the snow. Crazy. I can't do snow. I'm not used to snow. Like that would just
especially driving. I'm not a fan of driving through the snow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God. So I mean you're able to go outside and stuff, right? You're not
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just came back from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So welcome to the Face Behind the Brand. I am your host and you are the incredible producer, engineer, influencer,
That's right.
in-house producer for Pharaoh Music Group. Okay.
That's right.
Creative artist, Jose Cienfuegos, aka Fuego.
Thank you for having me, Queen.
Absolutely. So I just want to say again, thank you so much as well for just taking the time. I know you are a very busy man.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a new year. So welcome to episode 118. As you know, this is the Face Behind the Brand. I interview incredible artists like yourself. I feel totally blessed to have this opportunity. And I just want to get into it. So
yeah, of course. Let's get into it.
So basically, I discovered you, vice versa, of course, with your incredible sounds that I've been able to discover and be blessed with my ears, okay, with your
Appreciate
all of your connection, I should say, your connect gang, your group,
it.
your friends, your brothers, Pharaoh Music Group, the Musalini,
Hmm.
Izzy Hott, Finess, those guys I've interviewed, and you have had incredible collaborations with all of
That's correct.
them.
On many projects.
Many projects. I mean, we're going to get into more credits as well. I just, of course,
Okay.
I'll start there only because, you know, that's how, of course, I was able to meet you.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the shout out to all the guys, all the kings.
Definitely. Shout out to Colorado.
Shout out to Colorado, Box Apple,
That's right. The
uh,
Box Apple Connect.
Box Apple Connect. Shout out to the Bronx. I mean, you are in Bronx, Bronx, New
Yeah,
York.
I'm in the Bronx. Yeah, I'm in the Bronx. Yeah.
So where did this sound come from? If I didn't know you and hadn't heard any of these amazing collaborations, and I was to say, who is Jose Cienfuego? Where did this sound begin?
I will have to say on my mother's side, you know, she had all the Diana Ross albums, Donna Summers, you know, the Bee Gees, you know, a lot of disco, a lot of soul records at the house, you know, I was able to collect and hold on to. And matter of fact, I still have those records with me, you know, in crates.
Incredible.
You know, I started building little by little all this type of music, understanding like all types of music worldwide, not just music here in America, things like that. And then, you know, one day, you know, I was able to listen to Cypress Hill as my first inspire influence group. And, you know, I started enjoying hip hop for the first time and understanding a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, little by little, you know, I started, you know, doing research, studying each artist, you know, going to shows, you know, buying their albums. And, you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm like Herbie Hancock, you know, I like the production, all that shit, you know.
That's incredible. Yes.
He's one of my big influencers, you know, and Herbie Hancock, you know, all the movies he's done, like from Death Wish, you know, the list goes on, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible, because I was going to say, a lot of times when I hear your sound, of course, it's like you just said it. I mean, it's world renowned. I mean, it's not just hip hop, not just R&B.
Correct.
I hear a lot of melodic sounds, you know, in your music and what you create. El Salvadorian, correct?
Correct, yes. Both of my parents.
Okay. So what would you say as far as just the sound and being able to kind of include the culture from El Salvador and some of the sounds I hear? I mean, I hear a lot of horns, instruments, a lot of,
exactly. You know, and those type of music in Latin America, you know, a lot of you know, they got a lot of like horns, keyboards, a lot of maracas, you know, it's dancing music. So, you know, if you want to get up out of your seat or whatever you at, and you want to dance to a song, you know.
So you mentioned Herbie Hancock. Talk to me about some of the hip hop influencers. I know when we spoke before, we went back to Cypress Hill, you know.
Cypress Hill, you know, one of my favorites is No ID, you know, Havoc, you know, the Beat Nuts. I mean, the list goes on. There's so many people that, you know, I was able to influence.
Yeah. Well, I always ask producers, because I mean, of course, it starts with you, right? The beat. It starts with the beginning. What would you say if you were speaking to someone that, of course, found you to be an influencer, and they wanted to know, how can I be like you? How can I collaborate? How can I begin and make my music as big, of course, as you've made yours? What does a producer need? What does one need? A skill set that one needs for this type of,
I think
music?
Well, there's many types of skills, you know, that you need. I mean, it's not easy what we do. You know, it all depends if you're coming from the sampling world, or if you're going to be coming in the world of doing your own type of melodies and music on keyboards. You know, a lot of gifted people in doing that, in that type of world too. I will have to say, you know, just skills, understand different types of rhythms. You know, how the drums, you know, you can't just put any type of drum to any type of sample, you know, or anything. You gotta learn how to tune things in to make sense. I think you gotta be, you know, honest to yourself. If this is what you really want, you know, you gotta really have it inside you, you know.
Yeah. We'll talk about that because I mean, you know, we know what the industry is like. You know, it's one thing to be creating, but then to, of course, step into a competitive world with
Oh yeah,
many other
mhm.
producers, of course,
Oh yeah.
doing the same thing that you do. So when it comes to just your mental, what would you say differentiates you, you know, from other producers? And it could be in good ways, obviously. But I mean, what makes you stand out as Fuego?
Ooh, that's tough because there's a lot of
Some
competition,
heavy
not just
hitters,
here in
you
the
know.
U.S. Yeah, there's a lot of people in Europe, Asia, and maybe other places that I don't know. But there's definitely a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Um, I think for me is maybe I put you in a different type of vibe that you can maybe relate to.
Mm-hmm.
You can maybe even dance to, or maybe even think about the music and enjoying yourself. Because
Yeah.
that's at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, and I'm trying to do. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, I want people to enjoy the music and they can always remember it. From now 20 years later and things like that.
Absolutely. I love that. So when it comes to kind of just the creative mindset in the mode, I mean, you know, the process, what rhythm do you need to be in?
Ooh.
Because I know you can't just go in and just start making beats. What is Fuego's creative process like?
Sometimes I watch mob movies, and then I
Mm,
get hype, the commentating, the people, the
yeah,
voice of the narration, things like that, the editing, that shit gets me hype. And plus it happened around the neighborhood too. So, you can relate.
yeah.
Um, Sometimes if it's the summer, I might go catch a Yankees game and then come
Mm,
back to the crib and bang out the beats. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt this summer past. I went to a lot of games around July, August, and I was inspired by, the atmosphere, the people, the crowd. It
mm-hmm.
didn't even matter if they lost or not, just me being in there, and then hopping back on the train, going home, making these beats, very inspirational.
Yeah, yeah,
It gets me going.
yeah. Well, your sound is incredible. And then, of course, when you collaborate with others, of course, such as who we, of course, we were talking about earlier, the Musalini, Blannco.
Oh yeah.
You shared with me Worth Gold. I wanted to feature an
Oh
incredible
yeah.
sound, of course. And of course, I have this incredible, beautiful art.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, whoever did the art did a fantastic job. I mean, I
Yeah,
love the colors and the illustration, everything.
absolutely incredible. And of course, Worth Gold, produced by none other than, of course, yourself, Jose
Right.
Cienfuegos. This is one of the sounds that you know, got me speaking about the horns and the instruments. I want to talk about the process of this sound. This was one that came out, of course, towards the end of last year. An incredible single, an incredible hit. It even made one of the top for the week, #5 on the Hip Hop Weekly Insomniac list.
Oh
So
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
congratulations to all of you for that
Oh
one.
yeah. Chance.
So talk about the creative process of this, because this is just a sound that just, it makes you want to dance, it makes you want to vibe, it makes you want
Mm-hmm.
to, you know.
Basically, I got my routine every time I make beats.
Yes.
I wake up real early in the morning, and then I will do like 12-hour sessions nonstop.
Woo.
I'll have breaks, in and out if I want to eat something. But I will go 10 or 12 hours nonstop doing beats, doing a lot of digging and things like that. But for Worth Gold, I woke up right in the morning, and that was the first sound that I opened to my email, and I started chopping it up. And I had the beat ready, and for some reason I didn't like it in the beginning, but then it grew to me after hearing it and hearing it, hearing. Then
Mm-hmm.
what I do, I send weekly batches to all the people that I'm working with,
Okay. Wow.
and with Moose, he works real quick. He turned around. I think he sent me this verse, a couple of hours later.
Yeah.
And then, he told me he was gonna have Blannco as a feature, and I was happy with the decision. And
Mm-hmm.
we made it happen. And yeah, like you said, the song, you want to get out, see, dance, have a good time. It's good driving music, smoking music. I mean, it's a little bit of everything.
I was gonna say cigar, cigarillo,
Yeah.
whatever, cigar weed,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Yeah. Exactly.
get your blunt. But yeah, I find it to be very, very. I always like to confirm, and one of my producers I work with here too, from Oakland, he knows. I always say that I'm like, I need to hear it in the car for the final
Yeah.
confirmation.
Exactly. You definitely want to hear it, man.
I need to hear it in the car. I mean, I don't know what that is, but I just do. So we know that obviously this is a strength for you, right? And of course, you know, making profound beats, making hitters, making bangers. So I would say you definitely are confident, Fuego, in your ability to create and succeed. I find you to be incredible.
Appreciate it.
So that's a strength. So tell me one of your weaknesses.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think right now as I'm improving, getting better and better, you know, I'm working on better, a more fan base.
Yeah.
And maybe on the weaknesses, you know, for right now is maybe the merchandising, which this year I'm going to get a little bit more bigger. Right now, I only have like fitteds at this moment that say produced by Fuego 21. I mean, they're still available if people want them. All different types of colors and snapbacks.
Nice.
And you know, once I start getting more bigger, you know, I want to have more like hoodies and things like that. But at the same time, I hooked up with a interesting artist from London. And, you know, we're going to produce some action figures, some Fuego, you know, Jose Cienfuegos action figures, you know, little collectibles, you know, having a little fun with these things.
Nice, nice. So when it comes to the action figures, where did that come from? I mean, were you into comics and drawings?
No, not really. But I'm a big fan of collecting these items, not like comics and things like that, but you know, just word on the street. I had people coming and DM me telling me that, you know, they want stuff other than just vinyl and hats. They want collectibles. Yeah. So, you know, I had an idea, and I've been seeing these things online that, you know, people be creating like scenes from movies or characters from movies, and they'll make them into collectibles, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that, again, the craftsmanship, of course, being able to create an action figure is like insane. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Very detailed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy's very talented. You can see his whole catalog. You know, every movie or TV show that, you know, you can think of, he's done the duplication of the, you know, the artist, even the same type of wardrobe they're using in the scene. So yeah, it's really detailed skills, you know, from this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to one being their authentic self, because that's definitely what you are doing. Talk about the importance of a creative as yourself. Again, it could be male or female. What is the importance of one, again, as a musician, continuing to stick to who they are and not following suit with what they hear and see out there?
Well, yeah, you got to have originality and truthful to this thing. You know, it's just great as being an artist coming out and having your own style, you know, and, you know, you just shock people and you make people double look, you know, oh, this guy is coming from a different sound, you know, I'm gonna listen to this person, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens sometimes. Trends overtakes things, and, you know, it doesn't give other people chances and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think, would you say is your motivation just to continue to pursue your true purpose as this musician, as this artist, as this influencer?
You know, maybe at the age of 14, and it's something I really wanted as a kid, you know. And always, you know, it all started also by collecting records and scratching, all these things like that, you know. Always want to be like, you know, like I told you, Herbie Hancock, a DJ type of style. And I thought to myself, you know, one day I think I could be one of these people, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, little by little, you know, improving, getting better into, you know, the goals I want to reach.
Well, take me back a little further, because one thing I do know is that, of course, we talked about your own lyrical capability.
Oh, yeah.
As a rapper.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, back in the days, I used to rap in Spanish. And then, you know, I transformed to English. And, you know, it was good. You know, I was rapping kind of like, you know, like one of my favorite rappers back in the day was like Cannabis.
Wow.
I used to like all these type of like metaphors and concepts and these things, orchestra type of beats. And yeah, I started rapping. It was good, but you know, I felt something was wrong. It wasn't really for me, you know. And the beats, you know, I guess because I have a good ear for things. it was just meant to be, you know.
Absolutely.
It was like the perfect marriage, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you need? I should ask you, this is personal, of course, and you know I'm going to go there.
Right.
Too personal, but it's the face behind the brand, so I want to know who you are behind this incredible sound. But what is it that you think you need in order to continue to be your best self?
Whew. Well, you got to have courage and take a risk. I think these are big keys for you. I think doing a lot of research and understanding what you're going to get into, I think are very important. Things like that can help you along, you know, whatever you're trying to meet your goals and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things I like to do, and I think I shared that with you because I pick words for each individual because, you know, as we both know, as an artist to artist, we work with people that are lyricists, you know, wordsmith, if you will. So I picked some words for you. Okay. And no wrong or right answer. I just want to see what your mind is thinking. When I say these words, whatever comes to mind first, it can be two words together. It can be a term. I want to know what's the first thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Ooh. Experiment.
Elaborate on that.
You know, when you're coming up, sometimes, you know, it's trial and error, you know, especially you want to create something. You know, I don't know if sometimes it might work and sometimes it might not work, you know. So trial and error, I think is very important because, you know, you're just improving every time on, you know, and building your craft.
Absolutely. I love that. Confidence.
Confidence. Whew. That's a tough one. You know, you can go different ways with that confidence.
You can have some, you may not have none.
Yeah.
You have confidence.
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta have him in this type of field. You know, you gotta feel that you're number one always.
Yes.
No, you definitely do. You know, if it was sports or acting, you know, you want to go get it. You know, all these Oscar awards, championships. You know, as a athlete and things like that. And then, you know, artists. You know, you want to gain you a lot of fans, and, you know, and be worldwide too.
Yes, I love that. And one more, I'll say ambitious. Ambitious. You're ambitious, Fuego.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I think you know, topping your goals and things like that. You know, you want more and more. You know.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes not satisfied. You know, you just want more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing that. I actually, again, I always like to go a little further back, you know.
Okay.
I want to go back to 2019.
All right.
I was listening to a sound from Izzy Hott that you had produced. And I want to talk about the experience that you had with working with Izzy Hott. I don't know if you guys can hear it a little bit.
Yeah, I can. Shout out to Izzy Hott.
Yeah, shout out to Izzy Hott.
Oh yeah, I do remember that record.
Very dope sound.
Thank you.
Talk to me about, for one, shout out to Izzy Hott. Talk to me about how you and Izzy Hott, of course, collaborated.
Well, you know, like everyone else in the group, you know, I spent a lot of time sending batches to these people, you know, beats, you know, just improving every day, you know, I'll spend, like I told you, 10 or 12 hours and then working on beats. I'll be cooking, you know, sending them and collecting all these beats so I can know who I'm going to be sending to. But with Izzy Hott, you know, I think I sent him a quick, you know, 10-pack, and then, you know, it was one of the ones that was chosen. And I was happy too, because I actually liked the beat. You know, it's kind of calm and relax, you know,
Yes.
but you know, I like the lyrics especially, you know, because the beat's simple. The beat is just the beat, but you know, when you combine with the artist, you know, they take it to another level, you know, they make the record.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
matter how the beat sounds, if it's you know, kind of simple or if it's up tempo, you know, the artist, you know, they make the record.
And we're talking about Familiar Ties. For those, if anyone's wondering what I was just playing right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Familiar Ties by Izzy Hott. Yeah, and again, that just takes me back into what we talked about in the beginning. Just the different sounds that you're able to create and provide, the melodic sounds.
Exactly, melodic, yes.
Yeah, and how kind of like that jazzy, still hip hop, you know, rugged, still kind of creates the whole the hip hop need to still kind of, you know, vibe. And
yeah, exactly.
Me being from Oakland, of course, and I think I shared this with you. You know, I always talk about it. It's going to probably forever be my conversation. You know, it's just I'm an 808 girl. You know, it's like
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
All I want to hear, whatever you got, it could be flutes playing, but let me hear at least some 808s up in there. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. You can't go wrong with 808s.
So, do you read music, or do you have to know how to read music to produce?
No, you don't have to. You know, as long as you got the ear.
Yeah.
But you know, also knowing the ear and also doing, you know, making sure it makes sense too. You know, because you could have the ear and it might be off for a little bit. So you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So talk to me about making your own decisions. We talked about confidence a few minutes ago. So when it comes to making one's decisions, not just as a musician, but just in life in general, how important is that for you to be able to do that and to continue to stick to your gut on something and a decision that you have to make when it comes to music, business, personal?
Well, it's important. You know, I think, you know, I gather all the information and then, you know, that's how I make a decision. And, you know, but also at the same time, I got to make sure I execute the decision too. Cause, you know, you can have the great idea, but if you can't execute, you know, it's over for you.
Yeah.
You know, or on to the next plan and things like that. So, I think it's all with, kind of like we talked about earlier, try and error, you know, the bad or good experience with things in the past. I think it builds up, you know, you start learning about these things and you pick up good habits.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Absolutely. You actually have worked with some amazing artists, as we talked about earlier. I'm going to go into another song, or I should say, conversation. I was just all over the place, so you just got to bear with me because I love music, you know, and I love dope sounds, you know. I love dope artists. I love it. Not to say that one artist is doper than the other.
No, I agree.
I enjoy an artist that can truly make me feel something. You know, I think it's very important. You know, and sometimes when we do that, it's not always intentional. You know, it's just you being yourself, your true self. Scriptures in the Sky.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Musalini, D4 Jag. Shout out to D4 Jag.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to D4 Jag.
Talk to me about this entire creative process.
Yeah, you know, that was like in the beginning of the, you know, whole virus thing. And you know, we were going to a studio somewhere in Yonkers, and you know, that was the last thing we were thinking about, the virus. You know, we went there to, you know, take care of business. And you know, they chose one of the beats, and that was the one chosen. And you know, I was able also to engineer, you know, record, get the levels right for these guys, you know, through the whole project. And it was fun, you know, it was done quick, professionally mixed by Pharaoh 180 and, you know, professionally with G4 Jag and Musalini, you know, just knocking out songs left and right, you know.
Yeah. And the song that you guys, your track was Other Nigga is the track.
That's right, yeah.
Produced Other Nigga. So well done. Amazing. Again, another amazing banger, another hit. But again, working with some very, very impressive artists, also again, all from New York. Do you see yourself, of course, traveling abroad, like London and going to different places like that, collaborating with artists all over?
Oh yeah, definitely. Some artists from Spain were able to talk about. I think they live in Valencia, I think, or Barcelona, one of those cities, and they're loving the sounds that I did for Worth Gold. So lately, a lot of people have been hitting me up. They want something that kind of can duplicate that type of style.
Yes, yes. I love Worth Gold.
So yeah, Europe, yeah, Asia, Africa. I mean, you name it.
Yeah. What's some of the other things that you enjoy doing? I mean, obviously traveling is one. and making music. What else can you share with us that that you enjoy doing outside of music when you're not in the studio?
When I'm not in the studio, I like to maybe go play basketball or soccer outside.
Okay.
On the court. I might catch a movie or something like that downtown. More inspiration. I might go to one of those indie movie cinemas, in the East or West Village, and then catch a flick from maybe like Belgium or some shit like that.
My God.
And because I like film too. I went to school for film, so I have all these like
amazing
these
talent.
sensations when I see movies and things like that. What type of font they're using, the color, the edit chop. What type of lens they're using on a certain scene and things like that. All these things. Very interesting.
So do you see also obviously adding that into everything that you're doing, because it's no limit, right? The sky's the limit. Cinematography, obviously, do you see that in the future? I mean,
oh yeah, definitely. I've done stuff, a couple years, when I went back in college, I was able to intern for the Washington Wizards, in the video department. So I was able to get my hands into like how the professional world is, using a camera and being ready to shoot right away, and things like that. And I learned a lot, how in the pros they do it, and you pick these things up, and all these things has helped me, reach where I'm at now, because they helped me out a lot, in the pro world,
Absolutely.
Things that you don't want to make mistakes, when you're coming up, you pick things little by little.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been shooting a lot. I started shooting a lot for DC charter schools, these public private type of schools, education videos, because I believe when I was down south, I think DC is like the third biggest city, I think, in the US that produces film. They do a lot of government type of videos and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing filming, basketball games, interviews, a lot of stuff. I've been with Showtime Boxing, doing all these like boxing interviews, before the big match they're gonna have with the with the boxers. I've been with A&E at the Pentagon doing like, picking up things, editing things and things like that, and just seeing how things are done, behind scenes, like, segment TV shows, or, like commercials. I was doing a commercial for airline in Saudi Arabia, so how commercials are put together, it's something that, I saw how they were doing it, I picked up on the skills, and then, it transmit to do it, and I've done it before, in the past. But yeah, definitely in the future, I want to maybe start doing maybe documentaries and things like that, and, expanding my style, You're
a real life, oh my sheesh. You're a real life engineer, like no joke. Like, this is incredible, and not just music engineer. We're talking production.
Yeah,
that's again very impressive. Very impressive. What's your favorite movie? Do you have one? I know it's hard.
Oh man, that's tough, man.
I know. It's like I'll be watching so many movies. Fuego.
I know. I mean, it's too hard.
I love movies. I could just binge watch Netflix.
It depends on the vibe, and sometimes on these situations, because sometimes I might go to a comedy real quick, like Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, or then I might switch it up to like The Great Escape with like Steve McQueen and shit, like, or Donald Pleasant, you know, and things like that. And just because, you know, the editing they did on that movie, the color, the all-star cast they had.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can go on and on.
Impressive, very impressive. Well, I can go on and on too, about you. Just again, getting into the credits, and you know, again, I have to say again, amazing. And I'm sure there may be some that I'm not listing here, but again, we'll say again, shout out to the Musalini.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you have definitely worked with some incredible artists. You know, Flea Lord, shout out to Flea Lord, Izzy Hott, G4 Jag, Ice Lord, Finess.
Shout out to Ice Lord.
You know, Finess actually is the one who introduced me to Musalini.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so shout out to Finess.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Finess and the whole squad.
Yeah, I would have never met, you know, any of you from the Pharaoh music group. You know, I probably would have eventually, but I'm
yeah, Moose is the one that put me on to Finess, you know, when he had the Yikes album, and I was able to tap in, and yeah, that's one of my favorite records, the Yikes, you know. Woo. And it's funny because I just heard that sample like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, man, whoever did that, you know, did it well. So one of my favorite albums out there, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk about the Pharaoh music group. So I know you're in-house music producer there, but
yeah, in-house.
What goes on, what you can share with us, of course.
Sure, you know, there's a inside house production and rappers too. You know, we got Izzy Hott, like you said. We got Prophet Dinero. We got Footwork that has a lot of energy. You know, can do different styles of music. You know, up tempo, crazy hooks. Then we got the in-house producers. You know, we got Calico. Then we got myself. Then we got Rerun, the president that does, you know, the beats and does the little things behind the scenes also. And then we also got Feng Shui that, you know, does a lot of the camera work, you know, the editing, you know, taking pictures and, you know, DJ. So, you know, we're all there, you know. Sometimes I feel like we're like Ocean's 13. We just have like a talented crew of just too much talent. And, you know, that's why we're growing every, you know, I guess you could say every day, you know, we're just getting better and better.
Absolutely. Talk to me about working and meeting G4 Jag.
Oh yeah, I met him in it was a video shoot with Moose and Izzy, and he was there just I believe for support, and right away I think that day we went to the studio.
Yeah, you see, I got you in the studio back
there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that
was the first one. When you were working with G4.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, I was working the boards, you know, just, you know, being the recording engineer at that moment, and, you know, sometimes the producer too, you know, when I had beats or if I had inputs in certain things. But yeah, G4 Jag, you know, strictly professional. He works fast. You know, he has a great presence in his voice.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's unique, you know, no one sounds like him, you know.
Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah.
And, you know, we got like 2 songs, right? You know, I got 2 songs so far with G4. Yeah. So shout outs to everyone, the Lore Mob and everyone.
Shout out to G4 Jag.
That's another great squad out there that, you know, very talented.
Well, shout out to Akil Ali L. That's how I ended up. Meeting G4 Jag and Stars Coleman and all those guys. I mean, just amazing networking. I just feel like you guys are just, all of you, you know, incredible, and just giving me again the opportunity to pick your brain and go into your discography. I want to play, of course, the sound that you, of course, we know of, that we came into. Well, I should say that I was doing your flyer too. Worth gold. I think it's worth platinum. Gold. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna pull it up and give everybody a taste that hasn't heard it yet, and let them know it is available on all platforms.
All
platforms. And again, it's Worth Gold.
Shouts to Musalini and Blannco, you know, for blessing the track and taking it to another level.
Well, a whole nother level. I'm just impressed with you guys. I've never seen anything like this before. It continues to go on, and I know it's more coming, right? I know you probably can't talk too much about, Or what can you? Well, he said right.
Oh well, maybe
What can you talk? You can't talk about anything up and coming. Obviously, I know that's
yeah,
not
exactly.
okay.
But I'm for album releases, I can tell you maybe a couple two things. I'm working with this artist. He's from New York, but he lives in LA at this moment. Echo, he has this little series, and I'm doing season 8. So check that out. That's something I discuss with you, and
okay.
Those beats are a little different. They're more up tempo and a harder type of drums. So a lot of people telling me they love the style that I do, but they want to hear a little bit of something else. So I was like, get ready for season 8. Me and Echo. I'm not sure when it's gonna drop. We still got a little bit more tracks to do, and then we're gonna move on to the mixing stages.
Okay. Well, this here is Worth Gold, the Musalini, featuring Blannco, produced by Jose Cienfuegos. I might have to start that over because I don't like how that started. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm gonna run it back. I think I'm a producer. Let me run that back one more time.
The beat is funky as hell.
Girl, I'm like, oh! I just want to go out every time I hear it. I'm like, girl, let's go.
Worth Gold. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, this is amazing.
It's like it's a repetitive loop that you just want to hear forever. You keep it going.
Yeah, that whole beginning.
That's what that record's unique. It's a loop that I chopped up. In different pieces that you want to keep hearing it every 3 seconds. You don't want that loop to stop. Yeah, shouts to Pharaoh for mixing the record too.
Hey. Hello. Hey.
Woo.
Hey.
Yeah.
Got it off of her. That horn is crazy. Is that like, is that a horn or a sax? What is that? Saxophone?
No, it is a horn.
It's a horn?
Yeah, I believe it's like a trumpet or something like that.
Yeah.
When you dig all these records and sounds, you just gotta, it was a perfect scene from a movie too.
Super dope, King.
Well, the 70s had a lot of great music to dance to, so all these records, that's what you want to do sometimes.
Let me turn it down because I can hear you, but I can't. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, say it again.
No, I said the 70s had great music to dance to, and
yes,
that's what this song wants to make it do. Sometimes you want to dance or, and just chill.
That's incredible. I mean, for you to even so, do you study a lot of music from the 70s? Would you say even? 70s?
Yeah, there's a lot of artists. Like I do a lot of research of where these sounds come from, who's doing it, what studio they're recording. Maybe it might not make a difference for others, but for me, I like investigating, who's doing all these sounds.
Yes, like absolutely.
So, not like I'm not no like encyclopedia and things like that of music, but I like to do research, and things like that of just music,
Yeah. Well,
I think it helps me on the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say, is it important for when I say should people study? And I say, yeah. I mean, even me as a singer, I still listen to a lot of artists from probably not before I was even born. I go as far back as I'm not gonna tell you how old.
Well, that's something I want to do in the future. Play an instrument, and then and do something like maybe one of my favorite producers right now that I listen to is Adrian Young. He does all these like sounds from like the TV shows like Luke Cage and things like that. He's worked with Ghostface, and other rappers. But yeah, he does all those sounds that they were doing back in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, and he's duplicating now how it sounds. So I think it's dope what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I definitely think it's important. I always talk about how important it is. I think still, even sometimes I slack a little bit and study. I mean, really, because I mean, it's one thing to, and I read something earlier that said, you know, kind of stay away from people who want to be you, you know, but run towards people who inspire you. Okay, so, and I'll say it again, stay away from people who want to be you, but run towards people who inspire you. And it's basically because there are people who will get close enough to you to try to take your gift. They think
you know,
so they think
you know, they want to study your moves and you know, like, copy things.
But to inspire, to be around someone to get the inspiration and to be, you could tell the difference. You know what I'm saying?
It's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference. And you definitely, you inspire me. I mean, just listening, I mean, just some horns in general.
Yeah.
I've been thinking, I'm telling you, I've been thinking I'm a producer. I produced one song, you know, of my own. And, you know, you're going to know my name. I produced that. But I wouldn't know how to go back in if you asked me to. I don't even know how I did it. I think it was just, I was in some different type of world one day. But to be able to put sounds together like you do and to mix and master, and I mean, that takes
you know, it takes time. It's skill and the ear, you know, like I told you, it's been a long time coming putting all these sounds together.
Yeah.
So people like you, yourself, or anywhere, you know, they can enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you see behind me, of course, I have the No Squares.
Oh, yeah.
No Squares
Love
in
that
My
album.
Circle album. Crazy album of Finess.
Love the album, man.
Absolutely incredible. You did a track on that album entitled Players Club.
Oh yeah, Players Club. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. This album again is another great one, and you are a part of it. So again, congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Talk about the Players Club and the creative process of
that.
The
Players Club, I believe it was the first single off the album. The Players Club, you know, it was the first. I think it was track 12 or 11, something like that. But yeah, it consists of, you know, Musalini, Ice Lord, Finess, and Risk Taker.
Yes.
So yeah, you know, simple beat. I was actually at this at that time my girl's house making the beat in front of her because she didn't know how music was done. And you know, I made the beat in front of her. I was like, wow, this beat is hot as hell, you know, because I was just, you know, playing around, you know, just trying to explain to her how beats are done. So I made the beat. And I was like, damn, this shit is hot as shit. So, you know, let me send that shit right away. And you know, gave it a moose, and then, you know, he passed it along, and you know, they all four of them blessed it, you know.
Oh, did they? They blessed it. Okay. This album is incredible. I know they got No Squares too.
It is
coming. I know.
Oh yeah. I mean, this shit is just getting bigger and bigger. 2022, you know, the sounds, everyone's growing, and they're gonna get bigger and shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of the internet and the things that we use right now for music, radio, you obviously are able to cultivate with your fans, with people even like myself, you know, other artists, journalists. Talk about this. I always wonder, does any artist ever think the internet will ever break? What do you think will finally break the internet? We will hope that it stays forever. But if it were to be a sound, somebody's streams, or just some random thing happening for a day, what do you think would break the internet?
Ooh. You mean if like the internet got shut down or something like that?
Now, you know how sometimes it happens. You know, sometimes
Facebook, there is.
Instagram sometimes gets shut down and people think the whole internet is gone. So
well, that's tough because you can make almost anything into an instrument as long as you got the rhythm. You know, you can get 2 pair of coffee mugs, you know, and start making a sound, and you know, anyone else can start picking up. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like, you know, a guitar would be maybe the main thing, like an acoustic guitar.
Really?
You know, it's just maybe yeah, you know, it's just like maybe 4 or 5 strings, and you know, you're just going back and forth. You know, it's not too much work. You know, you just gotta slow down and, you know, work on your fingers and things like that.
Interesting.
But an acoustic guitar, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Or something maybe brass that, you know, doesn't need something to connect to, you know, like a receiver or plug in. You know, these things, you know, you can play right away.
Well, like I said earlier, I am again very impressed with just your talent, your gift, your influence. Uh, it's not every day people come across an artist, a producer, and I just feel like I said, truly blessed just having these type of opportunities to sit down with producers like yourself, and with artists like you all from Pharaoh Music Group, and to be able to just really vibe. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
You know, in closing, I'm not going to hold you all night. It's Friday night.
Oh, okay, it is Friday. Yeah.
Are you working tonight, King?
No, I'm off today. You know, tomorrow I'm back at it. You know, a lot of sports going on in the world tomorrow, so you know, I got to handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in closing, I want to say thank you. I want you to tell us, aside from Instagram, where we can find you. If you're what your Twitter handle is. If you're
yeah.
And and one more thing, where we can find your merch. Also, you talked about.
Okay, sure, definitely. Well, first of all, you can find me on Twitter, on IG, and now I'm gonna start doing Twitch. I just did a little test run last week, so I'm gonna be going live soon on Twitch. You can see me how I get busy with beats. You know, we can talk about beats. You know, certain topics that maybe people need help and shit like that. You know, and you know, things like that. So yeah, you can find me at Fuego, you know, 21E on Instagram, Twitter, and on Twitch. And for my merchandise, you can just hit me on one of those platforms, and you know, I'll respond back to you, and then you know, I can send you little pictures and you know, the type of colors, different styles too, you know.
Absolutely. Well, I want something. I think I want like a hat. Well, I do wear hats, you know. I do wear hats.
Okay, yeah, you know, I got
like
trucker hats, I got dad hats, I got snapbacks, fitted. I mean, all types of hats.
All types of colors too.
Oh yeah, definitely the whole palette.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, it don't take me long. I'd like a hat. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay.
So thank you again so much. This, as everyone knows, will be available. Obviously, when you're seeing it, you know it's available. It's going to be loaded, uploaded to the YouTube channel that you're watching, the Face Behind the Brand. And if you're not currently following and subscribing and just watching, I would like you to click that like button, comment, share this video. This incredible interview dialogue has been brought to you by the Face Behind the Brand, and of course with the amazing producer Jose Cienfuegos. I appreciate you so much, King. Have a good night.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me, and everyone that was watching. And then you know, hopefully you can tap into the YouTube, you know, watch it later if y'all didn't tap in, you know.
Yes. Well, Happy New Year to you too.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah. Thank you. Likewise.
Peace.
Peace.
You know, I got it.